Before we start, I want to give you a trigger warning that we will be talking about things that involve violence, shootings. So if that is something that you're not comfortable with, please don't listen to this episode.
Teenager therapy, because we have problems too.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Teenager Therapy. I'm Gael.
I'm Isaac.
I'm Thomas.
I'm Kayla.
I'm Mark.
And welcome back to another episode of Teenager Therapy. This one, I think it's important. Because in light of everything that has been happening lately involving mass shootings and gun control and all that debate, I felt like it would be a good time to kind of have a discussion on that so you guys could see our thoughts and spread awareness too on these issues and these very tragic times. And it's kind of weird to think that this moment in history will be remembered, at least in U.S. history, as one of the lower points in our country's history. So it's weird that we're living in it.
Describe this moment in history. Like, what do you...
There were 2 mass shootings in a day. There's mass shootings, a ton of mass shootings each year. There's a huge debate on gun control, and I think it'll be interesting when you look back from the future and realize, why did they let it get so far? Why didn't they do something sooner? So as you know, recently in El Paso, Texas, there was a mass shooting at a Walmart and 22 people died. I believe that is the minimum. It might have gone up, but there's a lot injured. 13 hours later, there was another one in Dayton, Ohio, and 9 people, including the shooter, 10 died. If you include the shooter, 10. What's interesting about that one is that the shooter killed his own sister and her boyfriend, who were also there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it was tough. Did you see what happened? You didn't see anything about the shootings, Mark?
I saw the video. I saw some videos, and I saw on the news,
Mm-hmm.
especially on Twitter Twitter trending.
Mm-hmm.
But not really.
The Walmart attack actually happened because the shooter specifically targeted,
Wasn't it Mexican?
like
What?
Hispanic,
I didn't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Mexican people. He walked past white and black people.
Damn.
Yeah, he wrote, did you know he wrote a manifesto on why he did it?
No.
I think it's 3 pages long. I read some of it, and basically it just talks about how much he hates Mexicans and, our community. So that was interesting to see that he targeted immigrants specifically. He did it for the purpose of killing immigrants and protecting the USA, as he called it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a whole discussion that the reason this is happening so often is because of our president. And Donald Trump has repeatedly used words like invasion, the invasion of Texas. And the shooter used the same phrases and words as him. So it's kind of bringing up the discussion, is Donald Trump basically at the center of this? Do you think he's promoting this, encouraging this, makes it almost safe for them to do this?
Obviously he's not like promoting gun violence, but he is like
Making it easier to... He's making it easier for these things to happen.
yeah, because he's like provoking the hatred.
His words have influence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of crazy to think how much influence his words really have and how
Yeah,
you
dude, he's
truly
a president.
can't. Yeah,
He's a
He's a president.
but it's not more of him. It's just the
So
fact
many
that,
other people listen.
that words themselves have the power to make you act in violent attacks like those. And I saw the Trump administration. I think I read this article that was mentioning that it's been focusing on making small changes to make obtaining guns easier, because the NRA donated $30 million to his campaign. So he's been very public about expressing his support for the people that supported his campaign. And it kind of just makes me think, how could he be so heartless that why would you want people to get guns? There's that whole pro-gun, against gun debate. So
he's just putting more people at risk to support his campaign.
Yeah, does he not realize putting people at risk? Does he know? He just doesn't care. It's kind of crazy how you could be so inconsiderate and just heartless.
Especially as the president. That's crazy.
Yeah. I think on Monday morning he did a press conference and he was referencing the Dayton shooting in Ohio, but he called it Dalton.
No, he called it Toledo.
Toledo. He called
Yeah.
it Toledo. So he couldn't even memorize the name of the city that got shot.
Yeah, which is like, so like, I don't know. I feel like he wasn't even genuine about it.
The thing that fascinates me is that he still hasn't taken back any of like the words that provoked these killers.
Yeah, you know he deleted the tweets, or his staff deleted the tweets,
Yeah, they had to do it for him. He couldn't do it himself. 'cause
Yeah.
What tweets?
where he used words and phrases such as the Texan invasion and immigrants are
Yeah.
invading and this is an invasion and stuff like that.
And a lot of these people in Texas didn't even want him to come. So him coming just made it even worse.
Yeah. I think the whole saying the wrong city name, I wonder if that was intentional. If that to sort of divert the attention from what he was actually saying. Because have you heard anything about the press conference besides the fact that he said the wrong city? So sometimes I wonder if he's doing all these mess ups on purpose to divert the attention from his actual words and make people focus on something insignificant. That's what
That's true.
I kind of think might be going on a few times because it's such bad mistakes. You know, he misspelled his own name in a recent tweet. He was talking about gun control or video games and causes violence or something, and he spelled T Trump, so Trump.
Oh,
Yeah. So there's no way you could miss that. And if you did, it's even more stupid. But anyways, as for gun control, what do you think? How limited do you think guns should be? Should there be just more strict background checks, or you think they should just be banned altogether, like no guns anywhere?
I don't think they should be
guns
banned altogether. Because I understand why people want them. Even though personally, I'm just scared of them, so I wouldn't get one or try to get one. But I can see why others want it. It makes them feel safe, protected, just in case like anything does happen, which I totally understand. But I don't know. Maybe it is stricter background checks, but even then, like I'm sure like some of the people that did these shootings, like their background was clean,
Yeah.
and yet they still got the gun, and they did what they did.
And they can always get it like illegally.
That too, black market.
Yeah. I believe guns should be banned altogether.
Yeah, like I was thinking that too. Like the thought of like everyone not having any guns, like so there's no possibility of like shootings and stuff. That sounds really nice, but I feel like it would just be impossible to make sure all guns are banned, and because of that, like the people still want guns to feel protected if that ever happens, you know?
Yeah, because that would be a really big mess. Because just because they ban guns doesn't mean the production will stop. People will find ways to produce guns
That's
still.
true.
And what happens when these people rise up with guns and there's no one else to like defend themselves?
Who would rise up? Like who would
Like these killers
that get it
somehow-
illegally?
Yeah, like illegal production if they somehow get it. And are you just talking about America banning guns?
Yeah.
What if they import it from other countries?
I don't know how this works, but what I think would be ideal if they banned all public sale of guns, so you cannot buy one legally
Like gun
in the
shops and
country.
stuff?
Yeah, you can't do that.
But people will buy it illegally,
Yeah, of
and then people
course.
can't protect themselves.
I think people use that argument a lot, and in a way I think it's flawed because there is reports that show gun violence decreases when you ban the legal sale of them. And the argument that, it makes sense. How would people protect themselves if someone comes in with the gun they got illegally? And I don't have an answer to that. I don't know. I haven't thought about it. My best guess is, I don't know. I just believe if other countries can have lived with it, like, will it be that big of an issue to the point where it justifies all these mass shootings? That's kind of why I'm so conflicted. Like, is the possibility that what if someone comes in and I can't defend myself? Is that argument strong enough to validate all these people being killed by guns?
Yeah, that's true. Because to some extent, like, let's say we do ban the guns. If that means having like no more other people get shot and like they die, then in that case I'm okay with it. But that's only because I know that I wouldn't get a gun. So the people that would, I know that they have more of an argument to it.
And you have to put in other people's perspective, because we don't have that much problems with guns. But in other cities, a lot of people experience, they can just hear like gunshots like out their window. So they feel like everyone in the neighborhood needs to get firearms.
And then I think that just kind of creates a snowball effect into
It
more
does.
violence. That's why.
It's just really tough.
Yeah, that's how I feel. And again, if we say something that is wrong or you don't agree with, or not necessarily you don't agree, but something that is factually wrong, then please let us know so we could address it in the next episode. Honestly, even more recently, I've been getting progressively more scared of guns and the possibility of a shooting in any public place, really. Like, it makes me so sad. This past shooting in Walmart made me so sad. I've never really got very affected because of these shootings, like the Parkland shooting and stuff like that. Those didn't affect me that much. Honestly, I felt sad, like, damn, it's terrible, but it didn't affect me as much as this one. This one, I really felt like some of those people were friends or family. It felt kind of like losing them, because I guess it's just thinking about the fact that they all have families, and it's like you said it's just your mom goes to Walmart and you don't think anything of it, but the fact that she might get shot and that was the last time you saw her, that just makes me so sad. And all these people that were kids, they were 15, they were our age, they were younger, and they were just shopping. I don't know, it's just knowing that they were living and they had their lives ahead of them. I can't explain what it feels like, but it's just, if you try to put yourself in that situation, that you're shopping, you go somewhere, it's terrifying, and it's just so sad because they went there with the intention of coming back and seeing their families, but they didn't. It just makes me so sad, because it could happen to anyone, and it could happen anytime. And the thought of losing your entire family, or of your family losing you, it really makes me sad. And it makes me mad that a lot of people can be, heartless and make jokes about it. Because it doesn't, if you don't think about it and you just think about it as numbers, you just think about it as 22 people, it doesn't really impact you as much compared to when you think about who these people were. And you try to imagine your friends knowing they told you, they messaged you, I'm gonna go to Walmart, like, do you need something? And then like an hour later, knowing they got shot. And it's also terrifying imagining yourself in that situation. Imagine being in school and you hear shots, you see the door open and someone's standing there with the gun, and you just know that there's nowhere to escape, like you're going to die. Every time I think about that, it terrifies me, because knowing that at that moment, for sure you're gonna die, and you can't tell your mom anything, you can't tell your friends anything, like, that's it, that's your entire life gone. It really is heartbreaking, and that's why it's kind of sickening that all this is still happening, and it leaves you wondering how big the shooting has to be, how many people have to get killed until it's big enough for them to say, this has to stop. 56 people, I believe, died in Texas, or not in Texas, in Las Vegas in 2017. And 56 people wasn't enough to make much change. I don't know what came out of that, if there were any new laws that came out of that. So it just makes me mad because how big does the shooting have to be? How many people have to die for, everyone to finally say, okay, that's enough? And that's what makes me really sad. But the point is that, do you think about that? Do you think when you're in school, do you ever think, if somebody were to shoot this school up, where would I go? Where would I hide? Because I've definitely thought about that.
Yeah. Even just going to the store, honestly, I'm always like, where are the exits? The
You always find
emergency
your escape
exits.
route.
Yeah. Yeah, and it just sucks we have to think like that, honestly.
Hmm. Have you ever thought about it? Mark?
Yeah, in school, when we watched the school shooting safety videos during like announcements at school, especially that around that time.
Hmm. Yeah. It's a big fear of mine.
Mhm.
I think it's really scary. People don't really feel safe anymore. In Times Square, did you see that? There was a motorcycle. I forgot this part of a motorcycle, and it basically sounded like shots
Wait, when did this happen? Today?
today.
Okay, yeah, because I
Today,
saw it on
yesterday, yeah.
trending.
Yeah. So yesterday night, this motorcycle, something failed with it, and it sounded like shots, and it echoed, and you could just see everyone in Times Square stampede away because they were so paranoid. And it's really crazy that it really has come to that where people are paranoid. It's so sad. It's kind of interesting that the past 4 shootings have all been done by a white supremacist, thinking like that and being a white supremacist is almost encouraged by, the president himself.
What got me really upset was the fact that Trump took the shooting as an opportunity to like promote like immigration reforms, right?
Yeah, no, he did. He blamed the entire thing on immigration and immigrants instead of addressing, gun reforms and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a lot of white supremacy that kind of encourages all of this, and that's sad. It's very sad. There's that debate that video games people are now arguing that video games cause this, basically. That they
I think
brought
they're
that
just
up again.
stretching.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk about what's really causing it, so they just divert it to video games.
Yeah, they're diverting it to everything but gun control.
Exactly.
They did immigration and now video games. Everyone's saying it was trending for a while. I think Trump said it, and a few other politicians said it, and there was even one that said it was gay people being able to marry each other that caused all this, and the LGBT is the reason for this violence, which was very stupid, obviously. And it really makes you wonder how these people manage to be in these positions of leadership. If they, how could that make sense to you? I don't
Like,
get
I'm
it.
sure, like, to some extent, probably like a small, like very little bit, they can make somebody more violent, but not enough to.
Oh, video games. I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about gay marriage. I was like,
Oh.
what? Kayla, what?
No, not gay marriage. But I mean, not enough to go on a shooting spree. You
Yeah.
know?
Do I believe that? You think video games make you like a little more violent?
I think it makes you maybe more prone to like being okay in those situations.
I think so. I think it makes you more prone to seeing and acting on your impulses that were developed before video
Yeah.
games. Yeah, so I think that whole video game argument is stupid. I don't think so. Do you, Thomas?
I can see why it could make people more violent, but like Kayla said, I don't think it would provoke them to,
Commit
shoot.
such a thing. Mm-hmm. It's kind of, the timing of this is unlucky because we started school today. So the day we recorded this was our first day of school, and this is after school. So summer's over for us, unfortunately. But I think the current climate of things makes students anxious because you could be thinking about the possibility of that. So it sucks, but that's what we have to deal with. And hopefully, I hope your school has a good counseling service or support center, because I know there's a lot of schools that don't really offer that, or to the extent that they could. How do you feel about ours? Have you ever used it? Like support centers?
I haven't.
So have you ever used it, Thomas?
I went to see my school counselor for some personal problems, and then she asked if I wanted to go see a professional counselor from the district. And obviously, like, during the time, I felt sad, but I didn't feel to the point where, like, I wanted to go out of my way for it, because I didn't have that much time there, like, and so it didn't fit into my schedule, basically. And so I didn't sign the paper, and they never bothered me again about it. Like, they never really checked up, like, oh, are you still interested?
Oh.
So it was a little interesting to me, because even if, like,
Sorry for the baby.
like, let's say I didn't want to turn it in, which, I mean, I didn't, but it's because of my schedule. I just felt like they still could have, like, checked up on me, because I can see, a scenario where a student is just too scared for that help. Like, they're unsure of what it is, but they're too scared to ask, and maybe just them coming up to them would just help them a lot more. I'd say it's pretty mediocre. It's better than most schools, I think. Yeah.
Well, I don't have experience with it, nor with other schools' counseling services. I hear people complain about it, though. I've heard very few people say they enjoy, or they think their counseling or counselors are really good and caring. A lot of the time, I hear them complain that they don't care, As we told you guys last episode, today's episode is actually sponsored, which is very exciting for us, and we're excited for you guys to get to try all these things, and hopefully codes and discounts can help you. So today's sponsor is Talkspace, and like I said, heading back to school can come with a lot of tough emotions, because you have new people, new responsibilities, new places if you're a freshman, especially. So it could be tough. You could feel a lot of emotions during this time, especially if you don't have any friends to support you. And Talkspace might be able to help you out in this, because it's an online platform where you get matched up with a therapist and you do online therapy. It's basically, you could just text your therapist and tell them about your problems and your feelings, your emotions, and they reply and help you and guide you through them. And I've actually done online therapy before, and I really enjoyed it. I genuinely really liked it. It was really nice knowing, you could tell someone about your problems, and their only goal was just to help you. So I think if you're struggling, it is not a replacement for normal therapy, but if you're struggling and you just want someone to talk to, I think it's a good alternative.
So as a student, money can sometimes be tight, and finding space in your schedule to actually go to face-to-face therapy can be really hard. However, on Talkspace, it's online, as you know, and the price of one session is a lot less compared to face-to-face therapy session.
Which could get really expensive.
Yeah, and you have to go out to actually get your therapy
Yeah,
session.
I read an article where a single session can cost as much as $12,000 per year, which is
Damn.
crazy.
Yeah, it's really crazy. And depending on the professionality, it can be even more.
Oh, yeah, it can. So if you're interested, you can go to Talkspace.com/student, and you'll get your plan set up for a fraction of the price of traditional therapy, which I think is a good deal. And make sure to use code TeenageTherapy to not only get your first week free, but also you get to support the show. So again, I highly recommend you go to the website and just see for yourself what this is all about, because honestly, I do think it might help a lot of you. So you could go to Talkspace.com/student and use code TeenageTherapy. No space. But moving on from that, How did you guys feel about the first day of school on a lighter topic so we don't end so because it started kind of heavy?
Honestly, the beginning of the day was pretty tough. Like, I didn't like it.
What class did you have?
No, it's okay. So, started in the morning. I woke up my dad, and then my sister was already awake, and we have one bathroom, and she was in it, and my dad was waiting to go in, and she wouldn't hurry. So, we left like with 10 minutes to spare, right? And so then we went to get the car, and there's like this big, like those big trucks, so he couldn't like back out.
Oh,
So I thought like, oh my god, I'm gonna be late the first day. I'm gonna walk in, everybody's gonna be looking at me. Like, I don't even feel good at this point. Like, I want to cry. I genuinely want to cry.
really? Why?
Yeah.
Because you just felt frustrated that you were gonna be late.
Yeah.
Oh,
Usually, like when I feel like I'm gonna be late, I just get really frustrated. I just feel like crying. I don't know. It's weird. It's just being late. But
I just don't
still.
go to school.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought about doing too.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up being on time, and then I go to math, my first period, and I don't know, I felt sick. Like, I was cold, but I was sweating.
Oh,
Like, yeah,
that's
I
like
was
a
like-
fever
I
or
think
cold. Yeah.
it was that, but I don't know. And then like I started seeing like black spots, and I was just
That's
like,
a migraine.
was it? Because
Yeah.
afterwards I had like a headache.
No, that's a migraine. You got a migraine. What happened to me in 7th grade is I started feeling cold, but I was sweaty.
Oh my god,
I was dripping sweat.
Is that what happened?
And then my vision got blurry, and I started seeing spots, and it's like I could see things floating, and then that's when the headache started, and I
Oh
felt
my
like
God,
vomiting.
That makes so much sense, because it felt like I want to throw up too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude,
that
at
makes-
least you didn't get it bad because it sucks.
Dude,
I
that
got
makes
dizzy
so
too.
Much sense. Yeah. Oh my god.
Did you eat breakfast?
No.
Maybe that's why. And
mean,
if you eat pure
oh.
sugar for breakfast,
No, I didn't eat anything.
oh,
but
that's bad
I
too.
took an ibuprofen without eating breakfast. Like, would that have caused it?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
What's that supposed to do?
It's like a
Ibuprofen.
painkiller, like a
Oh.
pain reliever.
It says to take with food, right?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, could it really have caused that? Like, I don't know. I felt horrible.
Yeah.
I was, and I didn't want to interrupt the teacher, so I was just kind of like, I just kept it in, and I was just like, I'll wait till the end of the period, but it went away, thank God. So,
By the end of the period.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
but then afterwards, I just had like a small headache, and I still kind of do, but it's fine. It's not as bad.
Yeah.
But the rest of the day was really good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You're
It
good.
was just the beginning was a really rough start.
Okay. How was your day,
Okay.
Thomas?
Well, it was alright. First, well, for majority of my classes, I don't really know anyone. Like, I have a completely different schedule compared to everyone else I know. But, you know, it was nice meeting new people. I didn't like my outfit today because I had to wear my ASB polo. Nothing wrong with it. I just wish I would have looked a little nicer. Yeah, it was decent. Some of my classes, they're a little bit alarming because they just seem like a commitment. You know, I feel like
yeah.
I'm gonna have to work really hard, and I don't know if I have that much energy in me or willpower to be able to commit to those classes and do my work. And then I was thinking like, oh, I'm gonna have zero period. And if you guys don't know what zero period is, it's like an additional class you take earlier in the morning, like before your first period. But yeah, so I have zero period, but we didn't go today.
And that
But
starts at what
tomorrow,
time?
6:50, you have to be there. You have to be in class.
yeah, and well, I always have a lot of trouble waking up, and it's just like, it's gonna be terrible. I just know I'm gonna be so stressed out. But like other than that, my first day of school, not bad. I did get homework though, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
How was your day, Gal?
Well, thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
It was good. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I was looking forward to it. My teachers, they were all really nice. I really, really like my teachers this year. I'm excited to get to spend more time with them. I think it'll make the classes fun. what else? There's 2 classes where I don't really have a lot of people to talk to. There's one class that's really small, and I know I don't really talk to anyone there, but still, the people there are nice, so it seems fun. I vlogged it, so I'll make a video so you could see for yourself soon. But for the most part, everything was fun. I enjoyed it, and I'm excited. I'm excited for my classes. I'm excited to learn more stuff.
That's good.
How's your day?
My day? No, I liked my day. I woke up pretty early, actually, even though I didn't mean to. I woke up at 5:35, and I couldn't go back to sleep, so I just got ready. I didn't shower because I showered last night.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
I just realized showering last night. Night showers are kind of better. I'm admit.
Right?
I do the exact same
They
thing.
are.
Huh?
I do the exact same thing. Like, you just feel so clean.
Yeah.
You just knock out instantly.
And in the morning, the reason why I was late a lot last year because of the showers, because I had to actually put in some time in the showers so I could really be clean. But if I just did that in the night, I could do everything, prepare everything, my outfit. That's what I did. I prepared my outfit. I showered. I cleaned my face. It felt really good. And I did it all last night. And then all I did in the morning was just make breakfast and just get ready. So that was good. That's what I like about it.
Yeah. See?
Uh-huh.
I told you. No showers.
In
Wake up.
terms of the school day, generally overall I like my classes. First period, what happened in most of my classes is just little icebreakers and socializing with other people, and that's what I expected out of the first day of school. And that's just what I generally expected out of the whole school year. I wanted to socialize, I wanted to meet new people, talk to more people, and even just catch up on people that I don't usually talk to, or over the summer, right? And so I did that. Basically all my classes, I love them, but I can't choose a class where I dislike. There's not a class where I dislike, and so I'm excited for that. I'm excited to keep going to school and learn.
No, that's good. What about you, Isaac?
There wasn't that much pressure this year compared to last year because last year we took our first AP classes.
Yeah.
But it felt kind of unfamiliar because now that we're juniors, we're sort of upperclassmen now. And usually I was used to having juniors and seniors, as my upperclassmen, so I can always go to them if I need help. But now there's only the seniors to go up to.
Yeah.
And it's seniors I don't really know. So it feels kind of
Different.
lonely.
Oh, lonely.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And especially now a lot of my classes this year, as a junior, you split up your classes a lot more than you did when you were a sophomore. So you were used to seeing a lot of the same people in your classes in 9th and 10th grade. But now it's just a bunch of different people. Now it's random seniors, sophomores, juniors. So it was still really fun. And I like my first day, but it's just really weird.
You don't have anyone to talk to?
I do, but it's just rather I wouldn't like to talk in that class.
Oh, you don't feel as comfortable as you did last year with your everyone? Interesting. I haven't felt that way, but it's because you probably talked to more upperclassmen than I did. I didn't have many in my classes. So it could have been better for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that. As we're getting, older and older, and I don't know, because we're not that connected to the underclassmen. I don't have that many sophomore or freshman friends, but I did have a lot of senior friends or friends that I graduated. So it just feels a lot lonelier now. It's just us, and once the seniors leave, it's just gonna be us.
Will we make the same bonds those old seniors made?
Right? That's what I hope. But I don't know.
I feel a lot of the freshmen and sophomores this time wouldn't want to make that bond.
I mean, it's only the beginning of the year.
Sure,
So maybe
you're
like
right.
later in
It's
the
the
year.
first day.
Yeah. In your tennis season, right? Maybe you can make some bonds with
Yeah.
your freshmen.
I think there'll be a lot of freshmen and sophomores
Yeah.
in tennis.
Yeah.
It's where you really get to bond with them in
Mhm.
sports.
Yeah, sports and
especially
clubs are the
sports.
best.
Yeah. If you're a freshman, especially like really enjoy freshman year, I think it's the year I least appreciated it. I least
Uh-huh.
appreciated it, and you have everyone says it, but it just doesn't get into your head until after you've
Right?
experienced
Yeah,
it. That it goes by
after
so quickly. Before you know it, you're a sophomore, and then next year you're a junior. It's crazy. So really enjoy your freshman year. Enjoy it. Find good, loyal friends. Don't get involved in anything. Just enjoy the experience because it's really.
Get involved in clubs.
Yeah,
Yes.
get involved in clubs, extracurriculars.
It honestly makes it fun.
Yeah.
just
It
don't get
does.
involved in drama, is what Kyle meant.
Yeah,
Mind
that's
your
what I mean.
business.
Yes. Any other things you guys got in mind?
Honestly, just make the most out of it, because for the first half of this podcast, I was reminded that tomorrow is not guaranteed. Like the future's not guaranteed. Anything could happen, and let's try to make the most out of everything as you can do right now, just today.
Yeah, I highly recommend attending as much events as possible.
Football games.
Yeah, the football
Mhm.
games, the dances, and yeah, just invest that free time into something good. You know,
Yeah,
don't waste it.
exactly.
Like I did.
Yeah, so as they said, tomorrow's not guaranteed. That's definitely big, and something I kind of forgot to talk about. Just be nice to people. Try to just be as positive as possible. Try to argue as little as possible, and just
okay. Yeah, I thought you were gonna end there.
live your life
Uh huh.
knowing that today could be your last day, and I think that's how you'll be a lot nicer to people, and you'll learn to appreciate what you have.
Yeah, especially appreciate like your friends and family and
Yeah.
people that are there for you right now.
Yeah, like I recently had this conversation. Be there for another person when you know they don't have anyone,
Mhm.
because these lonely people, you know, you could be their savior.
Yeah,
You alone,
yeah,
you can make that big impact.
that's true. Some words of wisdom from Isaac.
Thank you.
Our voices get so quiet when we talk like that. I'm sorry, guys, if you can't hear us. Anyways, that's it for this podcast. Any announcements? Announcement time? Yes, we do. You could buy. There's a few beanies left, so if you haven't bought one,
Please buy.
please. It helps us a lot, really. Like, you know, and you're cool. If you buy merch, our merch, you're automatically cool.
Cool.
Yes, freshmen, buy our beanie and wear it to the first day of
Yes,
school.
You'll
You'll be so cool. People will love you. Thank you to our sponsor, Talkspace. Honestly, thank you to everyone that has been listening and made this possible, because it cost $856 or so to run this podcast. So we need to make that money back somehow, or else we can't do it. So thank you to everyone that made this possible by listening, giving us reviews, and just being engaged with us, because that's the biggest thing.
Mhm.
And again, thank you to Talkspace for sponsoring this episode. If you want to check out their website, talkspace.com/student, and use our promo code Teenage Therapy. Should we put that on a hoodie like James Charles?
No.
Yeah, if you want to leave us a review on Apple Podcast, you could do so. That's be really appreciated. And that's it. You can follow us on Instagram if you haven't, at teenager_therapy. So with that being said, thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.